And so that's why we can't blindly prescribe things. We can't generalize exercise programs. So let's take 10 baseball pitchers. And then they're all going to, because they're pitchers, right? Magically, they have the same needs. They're all different heights, they're different body weights, they're different shapes. All of their physics are different. And yet they're going to do the same 10 exercises because they're throwers, and this is going to somehow be useful and accurate and helpful. So maybe 3 out of the 10 guys get an effect that is beneficial, and then 3 guys you're not doing anything with, and then the other 3 guys are declining in their performance, and then the one guy is like your outlier. I don't know. Let's just throw him out. Let's make it 9. It's easier to go 3, 3, 3, right? But seriously, it's like we can't generalize an exercise prescription. So if I have a baseball pitcher that has limited breathing excursion and a wide ISA, he's going to achieve the outcome of throwing a baseball totally different than somebody that's really, really tall, like 6'5", 6'6", narrow ISA, built like a tube, right? They don't produce the throwing motion the same way. How could I possibly give them the same exercise program as some sort of prophylactic manner? I just can't do that. I can't think that way because it would be wrong. Like I said, for some people it might be the perfect thing, and for someone else it might be the exact wrong thing.
So yes, because they are individuals, they're going to need a different prescription of activities to boost whatever issues they may be having, right? What do you think of the argument that because they're doing the same activity, there's similarities within that activity, so exercise prescription should look somewhat similar because of it's the same activity?
Well, I would say that there's certain elements that would be similar but different. So for instance, if I had somebody that, again, let's just look at the physics of the individual, right? So if I have a shorter, wider torso relative to a taller, slender torso, their helical angles are different. So if they do turn, they turn at different angles. And so I can't set up, like, let's just say I prescribe both of them like a half kneeling chopping activity, right? I have to respect the helical angle at which I am performing that activity to optimize it for that person. So I can't set it at the same angle. I can't give them the same cues. They're going to produce turn in a different way. And so again, I can prescribe both of them a chopping activity, but my cues are going to be different, and the exercise is going to be different because they don't do it the same way. So yes, they both throw, but they're not performing the same activity.
Right.
We call it the same because visually it looks the same, but because they're producing it differently, it ain't the same.
Gotcha.
Right? And so again, we just have to individualize this a little bit more effectively. Because if I have somebody that has a dorsal rostral that is already compressed, and I give them a compressive strategy, I didn't help them. Maybe they can overcome it. Maybe they're good in spite of my programming, but I certainly didn't enhance anything. So when we think about how we're going to prescribe an exercise like an ITY kind of a thing, it's like there's going to be a very select group of people that will benefit from that. Right? But my typical, if you think about the compensatory sequence that somebody with a wide ISA goes through, they're closing this area first.
Right.
That's after the ISA, they're closing this. Do I really want to give them another activity that's going to close it farther and then drive another compensatory strategy?